Hi Rishikesh, how are you?
Good, how are you? Hi.
Very well, thank you. A very warm welcome to you, Rishikesh, to NRG Retreat with Tanvi Kapoor. And I am so excited to bring to the people the holistic goodness of your brand, Arka Shastra. So, for everybody who's watching and live with us today, please meet Mr. Rishikesh, who is the founder of Arka Shastra. So, Rishikesh,
Hello.
please tell us about the brand.
Yes, we are a company based out of Kolhapur, and the brand basically focuses on bringing Ayurveda to food. And while the basic motto is to give pure, unadulterated, good food, it's also to try and blend in some Ayurvedic herbs and spices or roots into food, into everyday living. So that is the basic objective of the brand as such to provide good food and blend it with some Ayurvedic principles. Right.
Fantastic. So, your brand really believes in curating food products with clean, unadulterated, and chemical free ingredients. And each of the ingredients used by brand Arkashastra, the ingredients are sourced from marginal organic farmers at a very fair price. And the brand is committed to bringing good quality products to all of us consumers from their farm and their partner farms from Western Ghats of Maharashtra. So tell us more about this entire process.
Right. So being located in Kolhapur and very close to the Western Ghats section of this district specifically, and the climate, the soil, the water profile, everything is very well in place for us to do good sort of farming here. And when we source our ingredients into our food products, so we believe that whichever food product we make, the ingredients will play a crucial role in defining the taste of the product and the quality of the product. So, ingredients are of primary importance, and being in this specific geoclimatic zone, we have access to some really good crops. And what we are trying to do is we are trying to bring these. The produce from these farms to our consumers all across the country, and being located in Kolhapur, the Western Ghats section, there is also a river that is called the Panchaganga River. We are located on the banks of that river, and most of the district is irrigated by that river, majority of it. So the water quality is very good because we are just at the beginning of the river, which starts from Kolhapur. So the soil is very good, the climate is good. We have tied up with farmers here in Kolhapur who practice organic natural farming, pesticide free, residue free farming. And I think looking at the adulteration in the industry currently, as we can see recent news about honey that had come out, I
Right.
think it is time that we start, we increase our dependence on these farmers and try to source just good produce from them, and at the same time make sure that there are no pesticides, fertilizers used in the process. We do have our own farm here in Kolhapur, just outside of the city, half an hour from here, and we do have tie-ups with farmers as well. So, depending on the crops that we are planning to market every year, we are giving them a sheet of cropping that they are following. So, we are very happy to be here in this specific area of the state, where the climate, the soil, the water is all in support of good agriculture. And looking at the trends and awareness, we are able to convince a lot of farmers to do organic, natural farming for us as well. And it's been a good response so far from all the farmers we are connected with.
So that's fantastic. And, like talking about this lovely product that I received from you, the spiced
Right,
jaggery, which has
right.
so many health benefits and it tastes absolutely yummy, especially in winter when jaggery is like so good to eat. And some of the
Yeah.
benefits that are mentioned, actually, there are a whole lot of them. So let's first go about, the contents. It's made from sugarcane jaggery, A2 desi cow ghee, Iduki green cardamom, Vienna dry ginger. All these contents are mentioned here
Right.
on the box itself. And this
Mhm.
is what my beautifully packaged spice jaggery looks like, completely winter ready. So, please tell us more about the spice jaggery and your other products. First of all, the
Sure.
spice jaggery and how it's really going to help us boost our immunity, because it's also a superfood and everything else that goes along with it.
Right, right. Spice Jaggery is one of our best products, as we can say. It's very well received by the audience with very little effort on the sales. The audience has understood the value of the product, and it has taken its own path in the market, and it's doing very well for us. Primarily because of the ingredients that are used in that. And before we talk about the ingredients, I would slightly go back and talk about the process or about the jaggery and relationship of Kolhapur with jaggery. So if you go back to the 70s, 80s, there were about 800 to 900 jaggery making units. These were all jaggery used to be handmade in these units. But over time, what had happened is the market situation and the dynamics had changed, and because of that, a lot of units closed down. So now there is about 150 units just in the Kolhapur district. Obviously that became like a good option for us to go to this product and try to do something about the quality and the ingredients of it. If you look at typical jaggery, there is only a sugarcane ingredient in it. There's just basically concentrated sugarcane juice. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to enhance the health benefit. Now, if you look at people, the trend that people are following these days is switching from sugar to jaggery or alternative
Oh,
sweeteners as such,
yes,
right?
yes.
And at the same time, yes, so the benefits of jaggery are numerous, as it is all well known. But at the same time, the A2 Desi cow ghee that we are procuring from a local goshala in the district is also of a very good quality that is used in the product. Then there is cardamom, then there is ginger, and these ingredients as such add a lot of nutritional value and health benefit to it as well. So one of the focus areas that we have is the geographical indication of certain products. Like for example, Darjeeling is related with tea. They have a GI tag for chai, right? For the tea leaves from Darjeeling. Similarly, Kolhapur has a GI tag for jaggery. So Kolhapuri jaggery is very well known across the country, or and people buy it regularly on a very known basis. So what we try to do is we try to take that product, and we have done a lot of iterations to it in terms of the recipe, in terms of the formulation. And once we have taken care of the formulation, the finished product is what you have. So it took us about 1.5 year to get to the right formulation. Initially it was only a lot of trial and errors that were done.
Sure.
And what interestingly, when we spoke to a lot of jaggery makers from the district, they told us that in the 80s, 90s, when there were people, they would bring the sugarcane and get the jaggery made at the units, and in the last small lot they would add some spices to it,
Right.
and they would keep it for their own self. They would not sell it. So the other jaggery they would sell, and the spiced one they would keep it for themselves. So it had some value that was for they used to use it at their home as a gift to their relatives, to their friends. So that kind of triggered the idea, and we thought we can maybe reimagine that entire product. So we included desi ghee in it, which has its own health benefits, and combined with cardamom and ginger is a very good product when it very good ingredient when it comes to digestive health issues. So that helps a lot along. So all of these benefits combined, as well as the nature of jaggery that we get here. Also, another important aspect for the jaggery to be very special from here is the water from the river, which is a lot of it is drained down from the mountain zones. So a lot of organic matter flows into the river during the rains, and that same water is reaches the farms through various means of irrigation. So that kind
Right.
of gives the gives the sugarcane as well a unique profile here, and that in turn translates into good jaggery. So our efforts have been towards doing value added products based on jaggery in the last 1 year. So that's the story behind how the spice jaggery was developed. So that yes, there was a lot of talking with the local people, with the owners of jaggery making units, with the farmers, with some people who are 80, 85 years of age, and that's where all of this insight came from.
Rishikesh, your video seems to have gotten hung.
So we were using techniques to kind. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's
your
basically
video
from
got in between. So can you just repeat the last one or two sentences?
yes,
I just
I
got
will. I will. Sorry about that.
not
Yeah.
at all.
So we did a lot of talking to people who are in their 80s, and those are the people who have seen this kind of practice happening in the past. So we just wanted to understand what kind of products were made back then, and because if we all look, we are all going back to what food was eaten in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and this is just one of our ways to go back to it and try to redefine it and bring it into a pure form with a little more value added to it in terms of nutrition and quality.
Right. And it's so amazing because you're saying that, you're working with the local farmers and, you're working with local communities. So it's also providing employment to so many people. And also, again, like when you say you're connecting with people who really knew about, the ancient use of jaggery and all natural products. So literally, like when you say, this beautiful little write-up that you sent me along with the product, where it actually says ancient healing for modern living. So I would say that
Right.
this is so true to what you're actually doing, and
Yeah.
also, you say that you're using ethically sourced, standardized, and contents that are ethically sourced, standardized, and formulated to help people lead a holistic life. So tell us more
Right.
about these contents that are using that you are using in all your products.
Sure, sure. So we can take one example, one example product, and I can describe how the product is made. So another product that we have under our portfolio is a liquid curcumin. So we will talk about the basics of it first. So we all use haldi at home, turmeric,
Right,
and
right,
this specific product is an extract of turmeric of a sort. So what happens is when we are procuring turmeric, when the consumers are procuring turmeric from the market, the standards of turmeric are not defined. Now, when we look at all of these herbs or spices, there is something that does the miracle, or it's the active ingredient of the herb or the spice. So in turmeric, the curcumin is the active ingredient. So when we look at making a product in a liquid form, we are standardizing the curcumin content of that. So each time the consumer buys it and uses it for a specific application, the contents are standardized to curcumin content of a decided parameter that is decided before. Each of our products, so some of our products that are there are have to be extracted and then standardized. Some of them are just all directly raw ingredients and mixed into a specific formulation. So it depends on what the application of the product is. In some cases, there is some modern science that has to be applied to it in order to make it to a better standard. In some cases, the raw ingredients can be used as it is. So we are practicing both of these things, and wherever there is need for standardization, we are doing some standardization.
Right,
Yes.
that's fantastic. In fact, the you have the liquid curcumin, you have curcumin capsules, you have the golden milk turmeric latte. There are so many interesting products, and it's really bringing back Ayurveda into such a modern sense. So tell us more about how these curcumin liquid drops can be used. Where can we use the drops? Like, can they be added to food, or can they be taken as is? How can we they be consumed?
They can be consumed just like how you consume regular turmeric,
Okay,
but the absorption of these drops is a little more improved than regular turmeric. Now
okay.
these can be used in milk. You can make haldi ka doodh with it. You can add. Some of my
Lovely.
friends also. Yeah, some of my friends made a coconut chutney and they added the liquid drops to it. So it's more. There's multiple ways you can use it. Some people use it in their protein shakes as like an antioxidant. Some people use it as a face pack along with their face pack for the improved benefit through curcumin. So there is many ways you can use it. You can basically use it as a regular turmeric. and you can use it to some specific applications as such. So for example, in certain cancer treatments, some of the doctors recommend liquid curcumin, because the absorption is better, and in some cases if there is ulcers or conditions like that, then liquid curcumin is a better product to be used where the absorption is improved. So it can be used in multiple ways. There is no one way to use it. Some of our consumers are when they travel for work, they have a water bottle with them, they add 5 to 10 drops of the liquid curcumin to the water bottle, and they are good to go for the day. So there is multiple ways.
It's fantastic because like I, especially these days because of the pandemic, there's a lot of turmeric that's being used in my household. Like my husband takes a little bottle with warm water and turmeric and honey, because it also acts as an immunity booster, right?
Right.
So that's what he takes to work every day. And
Sure.
so it is, even in current times, especially with the pandemic, because turmeric helps to boost your immunity. It helps you, it keeps you protected against viruses, bacteria of all sorts. So I think it's so essential right now, especially.
Yes, yes, and as you said, your husband also takes it to work and in his bottle. So that was the whole purpose of this product. Is very easy to carry, even if you're traveling across the country. You can still carry it in your bag and just add it to your bottle of water while traveling around. So it's a very easy to use product, standardized product. So each time you're sure that you're getting the same benefit or the same ingredient in it.
Fantastic. And even my parents, like at home, like every night within they add turmeric to hot milk along with other ingredients. And that also is another way of adding it to boost your immunity, right?
Yes, it is. And when we looked at the pandemic that was going on, and at that point we received heavy inquiries about the product because people understood the importance of using turmeric or curcumin in their everyday life, and it in a way it did help us in terms of the product awareness. That people started to look up the ingredient, do the background research about the product, and then people started consuming it. So if you look at the condition before the pandemic versus now, people, yes, have definitely understood that it is a good immunity booster, and a lot more people have included this product in their daily life, or if not this product, at least haldi in their daily life. So yes,
Right.
the advantage as an immunity booster that it has is tremendous.
Sure. And let's talk about the other superfoods that you're manufacturing and producing right now. That comes in the form of powders, capsules. For instance, the moringa powder, the spirulina powder, so on and so forth. There's so much. I think there's so much that we need to cover in today's episode, because there are so many products that are like, bringing in so much holistic goodness into people's lives. So where do we start
Right,
from?
right. We can start with spirulina. Spirulina is basically our first product. So I started this project of making spirulina initially, and along with that, we started packaging this product in a sachet, in stand-up pouches, and started marketing it. And while in this journey of marketing, we understood the type of products or the type of ingredients and the quality that the market requires, and what there is currently, the quality that is going on. So the spirulina is basically like it's a micro algae. It's a blue green algae. So within the pigment of spirulina is a blue pigment within the green cells, and from that, capsules can be made. You can use it in your energy drinks, you can use it in your smoothies. So it's basically a dietary supplement which has natural protein of more than 65%. So it is very rich in protein. If you look at other products that are there for protein in terms of vegetarian or non-vegetarian products, this spirulina has very high protein content. So people who are low on energy, who feel lethargic, regularly consume this kind of a product. And people who go to the gym, who are fitness enthusiasts, they all consume this kind of a product because it is not like a processed whey product or or a processed protein product. It is a pure product. So it basically grows in ponds, and we have to filter and harvest the product and dry the product after that, and then make a powder out of it. So it's there is no processing done on it. It's a completely pure natural protein. So anyone who's looking for an alternative to processed protein or gym supplements can definitely try spirulina as one of the products in their diet, and see if there is any difference. And we're sure, we've seen a lot of studies in the past as well. Some doctors have done that in sports nutrition, and they have had very good results for the same. So it is a very good product if you're looking at your day-to-day energy requirements or your protein requirements and such. So that was our first product actually. That's how we started in this entire journey. And through this journey, we started developing other products as well. So Chlorella is also another product that is part of our portfolio.
Right.
And Chlorella is very similar to spirulina, but has a little more iron content. So, and vitamin B12 content as well. So vegetarians who are looking at vitamin B12 and have vitamin B12 deficiencies can benefit tremendously from this product. So that's the Chlorella product. Moringa, we have our own cultivation of Moringa, and what actually we wanted to share this with you, that we have been involved on the e-commerce platform for our sales. One of the things that we are planning next is to give out a couple of moringa seeds, because if you look at moringa as a plant, and the extent to which it has its benefit, with each of our orders very soon we are going to start shipping out 2 moringa seeds and directions of planting the seed. And basically what will happen by this, we believe that if let's say we ship a product to you, and you can keep both, or you can share one with someone. But if you have a moringa plant somewhere in your society, or in your house, or outside your compound wall, it's a supply of fresh moringa leaves for you, for your salads, for your salad dressing. Drumsticks, you can get fresh moringa drumsticks whenever you would want. So that's the type of impact we are trying to make into the food system of our consumer, because we understand that it is very difficult to get fresh moringa in the market when you go to bigger cities. In smaller cities it is easier. So we are going to start this practice, and we have discussed this with a few of our consumers, and everyone is excited about this, because we think, out of 10 seeds that we give, even if 5 are planted, that will still make a big impact on the food system overall, not just us or the consumer, but in general it will have a lot more impact. So that's one thing we are planning to do with moringa very soon. We feel it does have a lot of commercial value, but at the same time it is something a consumer can grow in his backyard and get the benefit out of it. So that's something we are going to do very soon. So that's about moringa. And yes, there are a lot more products that are coming up as well along the
That's a
same
great
line. So
initiative. It's a great initiative about
yeah.
sending the moringa seeds and having people plant them in their own homes or their neighborhoods, localities. I think it's fantastic. Congratulations to you on that initiative. I think it's really fantastic. So tell us more
Yeah.
about
So we are
your
soon going to be.
product. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, please.
No, no, so I was telling you that, rather asking you to tell me more about the products. The golden milk turmeric latte also sounds very, very interesting. So tell me more about that.
Yes, so the turmeric latte again is, in a way, it is also an immunity booster. It has 7 ingredients. Turmeric and black pepper are the main ingredients. Turmeric, black pepper, when combined together, the black pepper will help for the absorption of turmeric. So that is the primary reason why it is always clubbed with turmeric. And along with that, there is 5 other ingredients. And turmeric latte is basically a fancy way of saying masala doodh or haldi doodh in a much more refined version. So the way in which we develop this product is, we do have a team that discusses a lot of these products with the doctors as well. So if you
Okay.
look at, there is licorice as one of the ingredients, which is called yashti madhu in Hindi.
Okay.
And that is one product. So there is other ingredients that are there, which are very well balanced. So when we make this latte, so any Ayurvedic ingredient, if you take, it will either have, and by nature it will be hot or warm or cold by nature. It will be kapha pacifying or vata pacifying. So basically, these are some characteristics of each of these herbs. So when we design something, we consult with the doctors on a one-to-one basis, saying that if this is the formulation that we're planning, what sort of ratio should we look at so that the consumer that is using it does not create an imbalance because of consuming this, because these are ayurvedic ingredients and these have to be used with a lot of caution. All of these sound very simple, but in the long term it might have different effects on you. So while we formulate this product, we consult with the doctors and get a lot of help from them, and only then decide on the recipe. So the recipe that we have is very well balanced. It can be consumed throughout the year, but majorly it is consumed during the winters, because it is more on the warmer side of its thing. Yeah. So that's the turmeric latte product. And if you look at the Western countries, there is a lot of noise about this product. It's actually a product that is from India, but it has gone out and it's been positioned that way. But I think it is a product that should be also used on a very regular basis, not just on people use it when they are not well or things like that. So if it is used on a regular basis, it will definitely give you a lot of immunity and good health benefits along with it.
Right. And you were telling us about these two Ayurvedic terms, kapha and what was the second term? Sorry. Um,
Pitta and Vata, these are the
yes.
three doshas.
Yes, yes, yes. So can you please tell
Yeah.
people
So
more about these? Because I think understanding this will also make them understand better, what they are going through, and then choose the products accordingly. Right.
yeah, yes, I can give you a small outline of it. So
So
basically, our
that
body has Yeah, our body has three types of doshas: kaph, pitta, and the vata. So these are the three doshas, and according to Ayurveda, when you go meet a doctor, then he's going to ask you a bunch of questions and try to understand your body type. And based on whether you have a lot of cough, whether you have pain, all or on your based on your the answers that you give to the doctor, he's going to decide what body type you are. And the objective basically is to keep all of these three doshas in balance. And when they go off balance, there is certain problems that happen into the human body, like general ailments could happen or something major could happen. So it can be anything when the doshas go out of balance. So when we say we are making a formulation, keeping all of these doshas in mind, we are trying to be sure that we are not aggravating any of these doshas, basically. And this is the basic outline. The details of the kapha, pitta, and vat, these are very detailed subjects. So I'm not from the background of Ayurveda to exactly
that's all
explain the
right.
details of it, but basics are yeah. But the outline is that when products are made, they are made keeping in mind these doshas, so that when you consume any product, you won't find this out of balance. So for example, if you're looking at ashwagandha, it is also one of the very good herbs that is being used these days. But
Yes.
who can consume it and how much quantities can each of us consume it will vary based on the person. So that is depending on what type of doshas you fall into, and according to that. So yeah, that's the basic of it.
Thank you so much, Rishikesh, for sharing this information with us. And now coming to the immunity booster range, what is
Right.
Ojas 16 immunity booster? Can you tell me more about this product, please?
Sure. OGIS 16 immunity booster is basically a blend of 16 ingredients, 16 Ayurvedic roots and herbs. And this
Oh, wow.
product was basically launched in light of the COVID pandemic that was going on. And we went back to all of our doctors and discussed the formulations with them, and did the same exercise of formulating as per the doshas. And after that, we launched this product in the market just before COVID. So when it was picking up and the news was going out, we knew that this is required. So when we developed this product, we before we started giving it out to the consumers, at our office we started using it first, and we started feeling a lot of difference. After a week, all of our staff was using it, and we started feeling that yes, this is a good product that can be a part of your everyday life. So it is called as an everyday elixir, and the blend that it comes, it has 16 Ayurvedic ingredients, and you can make that as well a part of your daily life. You can have that with warm water. There is unfortunately no other combination you can try this with, because of the taste of it. Some people add honey and boil the water, make the decoction, and add honey to it for the taste. So this is also like, this is our immunity elixir that we have launched, from the doctor's point of view, and from what we think is good in terms of the ingredients quality. So if you look at major Ayurveda blends, you have to be very sure about the ingredients. So we make sure that all the ingredients come from specific geographical locations, and then go into the making of the product. So only then the entire benefit can be given.
Fantastic. And also, the quantity, how much a person should have, how much an individual should take, is mentioned on all these products, like how much they can consume.
Yes, for the latte, for the immunity elixirs, for capsules, it is all mentioned. When it comes to jaggery, jaggery is a slightly different product, because each one can consume different quantities of the product. Some people can use it in paisam, some can use it in kheer, some can use it with tea. So it is as per taste. But when it comes to these formulated products, the specifications are always mentioned on them.
Right. That's great. In fact, just as you mentioned, like at home, like my family, my parents especially, they use jaggery powder instead of sugar, because sugar is like, it's artificial sweetening. That's what you call it, and it has various
Uh,
other disadvantages. Whereas if you have jaggery, that's far more healthy. So correct me if
right.
I'm wrong, or whatever the fact is, because they say that jaggery powder is far healthier than adding sugar in anything that you want to add something sweet to, like get a sweet taste, like
Yes.
whether it's tea, whether it's something else, even in desserts, like Indian desserts, instead of sugar, if you use jaggery powder, it's far healthier. So is that true?
Right. Yes, it is absolutely correct. If you look at sugar, the source, the raw material is the same. It is for jaggery as well as sugarcane. It is for jaggery as well as sugar. It is sugarcane. Now, in the process of making sugarcane, there is a lot of refining that goes in, and while it is being refined, a lot of nutrition is also taken out from the sugarcane. So, in the process, when you get white refined sugar, and if you can compare that with jaggery is golden brown in color. It is
Yes.
because there is a lot of nutrient that is still left over, and the market for jaggery, what the market requires is an alternative sweetener as compared to sugar. So what we are trying to tell our consumers is, replacing 100% sugar from your day-to-day life is very difficult, because it comes through indirect means. So if you're not eating food that is not made at home, or it's snacks or it's chocolates, it is coming through those sources. But while you're at home, let's say if you're making tea, if you're making
Yes.
kheer, if you're making
Yes.
any other
Or
gajar ka
Indian
halwa, you can
dessert,
add.
or your daily
Yeah.
intake of like tea, right?
Right, you can replace that. That's a phenomenal start. Even if you are looking at an alternative lifestyle, and the advantages of jaggery are many. If you look at the nutrient profile, there is iron, there is zinc, there is selenium, magnesium. These are the minerals that are there. So it is packed with nutrition, and if you can't replace that a lot, even if you can have a small chunk, it's just a 5 or 10 gram chunk every day of jaggery, that's also a good start. So that will make sure that you're getting some minerals, some vitamins through the jaggery, and you can slowly try to reduce the dependence on sugar. And in the long run, it will make a huge difference, because the taste profiles are different. Where we felt the audience had a lot of difficulty in adjusting is sugar and the jaggery. The taste, you add it to a specific dish, that it will give it a slightly different taste. The taste is natural, but it's just that we are not used to it yet, because we are replacing the sugary part of it with jaggery. The taste is going to change, but people are adapting. We see that the consumers are increasingly depending on jaggery as a sweetener as compared to sugar, which is a very very good sign for our type of products.
Is that the reason, Rishikesh, why you say that you're using adaptogenic blends? Because
Uh,
what are adaptogenic blends?
Yes, so basically, there is a category of adaptogens. So, for example, ashwagandha is an adaptogen. So basically, that will modify your mood of some sorts. So if you look at ashwagandha, is a mood enhancer. That's what everybody says about ashwagandha. So it's an adaptogen. It comes under the category of adaptogens. So basically, there are
What
adaptogens
are
for various
adaptogens? What are adaptogens?
uh, adaptogens. Basically, I won't be able to explain to you exactly the definition of an adaptogen, but the category of adaptogen, like there is ginseng is another ingredient which is not very Indian, but it is a similar to it is very similar to ashwagandha. So
It's used a lot in
basically,
international tea brands. Ginseng is used a lot in international tea
that,
brands
that is
and
why. So
international wellness
yes.
brands.
Right. So these adaptogens basically will help you with your mood, relieving your stress. So that's why if you look at ashwagandha, they say it is a very good stress reliever. So that is the category, like a definition of like an adaptogen. So basically, ashwagandha is one of the adaptogens. So when you use these kind of ingredients, there is not just a value to your body as such, but also to your mental system, like as your stress is relieved. So these are some of the blends that go in, and it causes an overall impact. So not just with the body, but also with the brain and relaxation of the brain. So that's how it will help you like adapt to the stress and lower it down basically.
Sure. In fact, I think it's a fact that's been researched and talked about, spoken a lot about these days, as to how reducing the intake of sugar can actually impact various aspects of your life, including your hormonal health, your physical health, your mental health, because it just makes you feel better inside out. So I think for everybody to kind of start adapting to more organic, and holistic ingredients and products in the longer run would be better for their health inside out.
Yes, yes, definitely. And if you look at the trends that people have been setting for, a lot of shift from artificial chemical ingredients to natural ingredients, pure ingredients, and everybody is trying to read the labels carefully and then understand what's going into the food, which is a very good sign. So for companies like us who are working out of Kolhapur, it is very difficult for us to try and go out to like the so-called market distribution system and bring out our products. So when consumers are aware about these kind of benefits, products can be accessed online and they can shop the products online. A lot of calls come into us and they discuss about the products. We explain the basics of the products. And if you look at majority of the food products, there is some sort of adulteration that is going on at every level. So we try to tell them this is what could be also happening, and this is the long term effect on your body because of some adulteration. So we explain the consumer, and then if they're convinced with what we are trying to sell them, we send them the products through our courier partners. So yes, consumers are aware, and that is a huge advantage for us as well.
Right. So, talking about current market practices, and what suggestions would you have for consumers when they're looking to buy good jaggery?
For good jaggery, yes, there is a few suggestions that we have. Basically, consumers must also understand the color. The texture of the jaggery is also important. A lot of times, based on color, people are trying to differentiate the jaggery. But I want to point it out that color of jaggery will also depend on the type of sugarcane that is used. On a specific within Kolhapur district, there are a lot of varieties of sugarcane that are being grown, and using a variety can give dark or lighter color. So the darker the color is, people have the perception that it is organic. Yes, it is correct that darker color means organic and no chemicals are used to clean it up. But in the making process of jaggery, yes,
We've already
right.
eaten a
So
little
that
bit
that is the
out of
that
the
is the
bag.
color.
Yes, but I'm just showing
Yes,
people the
yes.
color though we've already eaten, like some part of it has been used already by us, but I'm still sharing the color, and this is how it comes beautifully packed, and this is the color.
Right.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, so
yes.
you were telling
So
us, yeah.
basically, Yeah. So basically, it is made in small batches. The jaggery is made in a single batch, can make only around 200 to 300 kgs of jaggery. So even within that batch, because the process is a handmade process, the color, the each no single jaggery block will look the same. Each one is going to look different, no matter how it is made, because it's a handmade process, and it's a preservative free, chemical free process. You can't control the parameters, so it's a every lot is going to be slightly different. What we try to tell our consumers is, there are a lot of brands like us trying to go to the grassroots and connect with the farmers and the makers of it, and trying to bring all of this together. We want to tell the consumers to kind of understand the brands that are providing jaggery to you. Have a conversation. We are eagerly waiting to discuss jaggery with our consumers and trying to tell them what kind of product they should look at. And we are very happy to guide them into how to buy good jaggery. One of the things is the color. Again, is because of the impurities that are there. It depends on how well you want to clean the impurities. So if bindi powder, basically okra, is used to clean, or juice is used to clean the impurities from jaggery. So
Okay.
it depends on to what extent you want to go to cleaning it. So as long as you have done a good job at cleaning the impurities or the waxy soily impurities from the sugarcane juice, you we can stop there and then start concentrating the jaggery further, or the sugarcane juice further. So color wise, it is a little difficult to say, because sometimes color can also be used to make it look like it is organic jaggery, but it might not be. So we want to say that consumers should always talk to the suppliers before, and understand if the brand is actually making jaggery, or is an aggregator of jaggery and then repackaging it. So the way in which we operate is, we actually make the jaggery ourselves. So that is why we are very sure of the quality. There are some errors here and there, but it's a process that we are learning, and we are only 1.5 years into this market right now, 1.5 to 2 years into this market. So yes, and that is the thing we want to tell the consumers, to be very careful with your jaggery, because it should give you an advantage and not a disadvantage. And we urge the consumers to talk to us and find out more about the jaggery, the process of making the jaggery. uh, so yes, that is the advice that we have for our consumers.
So we have Mrs. Shuchi Kapoor asking, is the lighter color of jaggery also okay?
We can't say that it is okay. So I can give you an example. So there is two varieties that we have experimented with in the past. One variety is the one that you just showed us. That is the variety that gives us a slightly darker shade.
Okay.
But there is another variety that is easily cleaned, that gives you a slightly lighter shade. So again, it only depends on who you are buying it from. You can connect with the supplier, or connect with the maker directly, and understand the principles they are following in making the jaggery. Only then we can be sure. But it would be advisable to kind of avoid, or try to understand before buying lighter color jaggery. That's something I would say, that even if you are making a choice of buying a lighter color jaggery, be sure that you understand how it's made, and if you've spoken to the maker or the supplier of the product, and if you get good information on the same, you can go ahead to buy that.
Great. Thank you so much, Rishikesh. And for everybody who's interested to know more about Arkashastra, please follow them on Instagram by the name of Arkashastra. And the products are also available on Amazon, right? Rishikesh, can you tell people where they can purchase your products from, please?
Sure, the products are available on Amazon.in, and also on our store, Arkashastra.store. You can order from both of these places across India. We are shipping across India. We have tied up with shipping partners. We Across India, we can ship, maximum it would take you is 4 to 5 days. So especially when it comes to jaggery, now the Sankranti season is coming up. So a lot of people use jaggery at home during the Sankranti season. So if you are planning to make sweets with the jaggery, and if you want to use our products, please order 4 to 5 days or a week in advance, so that they reach you in time, and you will be able to make good products with it.
So can you repeat the name of the website again? Arkashastra Store dot in.
Arkashastra.store.
Okay,
Just that.
Arkashastra dot store. So ARKASHASTRA dot store. So you can go on Arkashastra dot store and place your order, or place your order from Amazon India. Follow the Instagram handle at the rate Arkashastra, and stay in touch. Ask them questions. They're very very quick to revert over message on Instagram. And we have another question from Mrs. Shuchi Kapoor. She's asking, what's the difference between hard and slightly softer jaggery?
Yes. So there is. So the process of I can tell you about the process of making the jaggery, and that will sort of clear the question. So when the process of jaggery making is very simple, we have all been to a sugarcane juice shops, the juice walas that are there. So what they do is they clean the sugarcane completely. They scrub off all the impurities and the dirt, and then they give us a then they make the juice and give us a glass full of sugarcane juice. Now, the process in the jaggery unit starts with crushing the sugarcane and pouring the juice into a huge metal pan, which is heated using wood fire. So now, in the jaggery unit, there is no process of cleaning the sugarcane individually. It's only going to be crushed. So that is why there is an impurity removal stage. So the juice is heated, and during the heating of the juice, the impurities are removed. So okra, which is bhindi juice. So basically, some small amount of bhindi is put into water, and the juice is extracted and used to remove the impurities. Now, for it to harden as well, there is lime that is added. When we eat like a masala pan, we there or a regular pan betel thing. So in that also there is addition of lime in that, right? So that is the same ingredient that is used in controlling the hardness of the product. So when the jaggery is being made, there is some amount of lime that is added in the process as well to maintain the hardness. So depending on the maker or the brand, we can tell them, or we can adjust it in such a way that we want it hard or we want it to be soft. Hard or soft jaggery does not mean good or bad jaggery. There is nothing that says hard jaggery is good jaggery, soft jaggery is bad jaggery. So both jaggeries are equally good. It only depends on how well it is cleaned, whether chemicals are not used, and sometimes even we try to make it in such a way that it is slightly soft for the consumer to cut it. But if we try to make it too soft, it is going to melt and be very messy, right? So it doesn't really make much of a difference if you're looking at hard or soft jaggery and trying to understand the quality. Both can be equally good. There can literally be no difference in the quality except that the texture. So one guy who it's like a cook. One chef is going to make a dish, another chef is going to make the same dish in a slightly different way. It does not
Sure.
mean that one is different. Yeah, so both are good in their own ways. It is just how the brand wants to send out the jaggery to the consumer. Normally when we look at block jaggery, it we like to keep it slightly softer for the ease of cutting. When we are looking at powder jaggery, it can be whatever profile it has because it is in powder form. So hard and soft jaggery really is only dependent on how the maker has decided his product to be. So when we look at the product, we try to keep it a little softer. We also have desi ghee, which will help in keeping the softness of the jaggery as well to some extent. So that is the difference between these two
Thank you
types.
so much, Rishikesh, for sharing that information. And again, thank you so much for really bringing this forgotten tradition of the past back to all of us, to experience all the holistic goodness of the superfoods, the immunity boosters, everything that you brought to all of us through your brand Arkashastra. So whether it's the Ojas 16 immunity booster, the liquid curcumin drops, the golden milk turmeric latte, the spirulina powder, the chlorella powder, moringa powder, the spice jaggery. I think these are just a small basket of the products that I've just mentioned. So stay in touch with the brand over Instagram. Place your order with them on the website just mentioned, arkashastra.store. And I think this has been a great experience. Thank you so much, Rishikesh, for joining us on this journey. And for all of you who want to stay connected with everything wellness, every week. Please hear our podcast, follow us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts. You can also hear us on TuneIn Radio, Alexa. So, Rishikesh, thank you so much. And anything that you'd like to share with us before we conclude this?
I lost you for a few seconds there in the last part. Could you repeat?
Yeah, yeah. I'm saying thank you so much for joining us today, Rishikesh. Is there anything that you'd like to share with us before we conclude today's session?
Oh, it's been a pleasure to be a part of this. This is our first podcast. I must mention again that this is the first time we are live, and we've been prepping sort of since the afternoon. We've taken the time off to be sure that we are able to handle all the questions, and I'm glad we are able to be a part of this. This is a very good platform for brands like us to where we are trying our best to connect to the consumer, explain the complications of the current food chain and trying to make the difference. So I'm very happy that we are able to be a part of this, and I'm glad this podcast happened, or this live has happened. And we'll definitely share more products in the future with you, and would love to come back again and discuss some more products in the future.
Absolutely, Rishikesh. And this podcast is aired like worldwide. So I think this is also a good way to connect to your consumers, not just in India, but also across the globe, and to spread the goodness of the holistic products that you have to share. So, just before we sign off, I have another question. I'm just curious to know that what really inspired, you to start this brand a year and a half back? Like, was it, do you have an interesting story to tell us? Or did you always want to get into this space? Please tell us more about
We
that.
Right.
Sign
So
off.
we were basically, yeah. So we were we as I said, we started out with making spirulina as a dietary supplement, and then we started marketing the product. And when we came into the realities of the market, we understand we are finding a very difficult time to understand like how a specific product and the raw material that goes into making it still makes it to the market with such low prices. It's very difficult for us to understand. So we when we started digging deep into what's going on in the market, we figured out that there is a huge space to make good products, to just make pure products. Now if we look at, for example, even turmeric, there is a lot of space to make good turmeric. So right now there is a lot of things going on in the market, but if you look at some brands, they are doing great job in turmeric. We also have a plantation of turmeric in the Western Ghats, which is a specific variety from the Western Ghats, and we are propagating it this year. So what really inspired us is this big gap of quality that has been set up over the last 2 to 3 decades. Mass manufacturing and things like these, heavy industrialization. These things kind of showed us that yes, there has been a lot that has gone wrong here, and you can make a difference to the food chain in general if you just make good, pure quality products. And that's what we started Arkashastra as an Arkashastra as a name. If you split it up, it is Arka and Shastra. So Arka is basically like the elixir. So each of these products, or each of the herbal ingredients, Ayurvedic ingredients, you look, they are in some way or the other, they are elixirs of nature. So that's the elixir part, that's the Arka part. And then there is science of food, and then there is science of Ayurveda, which links these two together. So that's the whole concept behind Arkashastra. And we decided that we'll commit ourselves to giving good quality food in either as it is pure powder forms, or in value added forms. So for turmeric, it's a turmeric powder, and if it goes to jaggery, it is the value added spice jaggery. So that's the objective that we have set for ourselves, and it's been very good so far. The support has been good, the understanding of the products. I think we are here at a very good time in the market, where people are consciously looking for good, different products, unique products. So 2 years ago, what we thought, we could try something in this area, and make sure it goes through. And along the way, just as we started 3 4 months down the line, we started talking to farmers and got the support from them as well, where there is now, you're seeing a lot of news on MSPs and things like that. And we are already paying farmers at a very good price, paying the produce at a very good price, purchasing from them at rates above the market rates. And that's the reason why we are able to do that, is because we have support from the consumers as well. So where there is reward for work like this, we are very happy to work for on this kind of a concept, because if the consumer is not able to identify the effort that has gone into the farming of the product, into bringing the product to your table, then it is a very difficult journey. But right now I think consumers are very aware, looking at the effort that a brand is taking, following brands on Instagram, on their social media channels. So I think from where we started out and where we are now, we are always expanding on different ideas and trying to evaluate every idea and bringing, wherever we feel there can any difference can be made to a food product, we are trying to get into it, and trying to make value added products out of it in the future as well. So yeah, that's the background of Arkashastra.
Fantastic. And like you said very correctly, that the ingredients are the heart of every food product that we
Right.
consume, and the quality of food heavily depends on the purity of ingredients that are used. So when you buy Arkashastra products, you can be assured that the quality of what is going inside your body is going to be like absolutely 100% pure and organic. And also, a lot of the produce is produced on your farm as well, right? You've tied up with
Yes.
other farms and it's also on your own farm.
Yes, we have our own farm as well. It's an 18-acre farm, half an hour from Kolhapur, and we have also tied up with some of the farmers. So, for example, there is local varieties of groundnut that is being grown in the district. We are looking at making cold pressed groundnuts oil. So, we did some trials last season. So, these are the tie-ups that we're looking at, where farmers know that this product is going to be used in the where it is going to be used in the value chain, as to we train them in such a way that they make a good product, and we give them a package of practice for organic natural farming, so that we are sure that the material that comes from them is of the best quality. So then we can be sure that our product that is made out of it is of a good quality. So we do have some trial plots as well in our farm, where we show the farmers how certain crops are to be produced, or certain crops are to be farmed. And yes, there are we have just started about a year and a half ago with the farmers. There are about 18 farmers that we have. We don't have thousands of farmers, but we want to prove a workable model to these farmers first, and then we can scale up to more farmers and try to buy back their produce. So one of the things we are doing is buying back their produce as well. So if we are suggesting them a crop, we are telling them that if you can farm it as per our guidelines, we can purchase the product and make products out of that. Purchase the produce and make products out of that. Sorry. So that's the approach basically.
And I think that's brilliant, and all the best on all your upcoming initiatives. I would love to have you back on the show with, more products, whatever's in the pipeline. And it's really been so informative for our audience, and even for me. I have learned so many more new things today. Thank you so much, Rishikesh. And this was Mr. Rishikesh Shinde, founder of Arkashastra. Thank you so much for joining us today, Rishikesh. It's been so informative. And guys, please follow Arkashastra on Instagram and order your products right away at arkashastra.store. Thank you so much, Rishikesh. Thank you. Take care and hope to see you soon again on the show.
Sure, I would
Take
love to be back. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.